you for choosing this Voice Enterprise production. Voice Enterprise is home to Wells County, Adams County, Allen County, Delaware County, DeKalb County, and BlackfordCountyVoice.com. We know you have a choice and we appreciate you choosing us. Voice Enterprises encourages you to support your local high school sporting programs by going to as many games as possible, and we offer this broadcast as a service to our listeners. These broadcasts would not be possible without the support of the sponsors you hear throughout the games. So be sure to tell them thanks any chance you get and use their services when possible. Thank you for listening. Now, enjoy the broadcast.
From the campus of Yorktown High School in Yorktown, Indiana, welcome to boys basketball here on DelawareCountyVoice.com, where tonight the rivalry is renewed. It's the battle on the hardwood, the Delta Eagles taking on the Yorktown Tigers. Good Friday evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us here tonight on DCV as the two teams we cover here on DCV go at it boys basketball style. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm Robert Connett. To my right is Connor Sink, our color commentator, and our cameraman tonight, Wes Lorenz, as Yorktown coming into tonight's contest with a record of 2-1 on the season. The Delta Eagles coming in at 1-3. And you take a look at these two teams, the Tigers coming in on a 2-game winning streak after losing that season opener at Muncie Central 65-56, but they're coming off of a big win against Muncie Burris. 67-33 was the final there, and leading all scorers was Riley Neal. 23 points. He was a perfect 11 for 11 from the floor. Wes, you and I got a chance to cover this Yorktown boys basketball squad last season. They return everybody but two guys, that being Bailey Miller and Zachy Barami. But your starting five, when you look at it, Riley Neal, Riley Miller, along with Caleb Morey, Carson Moore, and Jake Preston for Coach Miller, having these guys come back. A pretty good start to the season and looking to use those starting five for some good progress throughout the season.
Absolutely. These five guys for the Yorktown Tigers are a well-oiled machine. There was a narrative coming into the season saying, a couple of these guys are on the football team. They haven't had time to practice for basketball season due to making a deep run in the football playoffs, but they played together all last season. They know how each other works. They are all five very good players, all five capable scorers, and I'm excited to see what they can bring here in this 2014-2015 season.
Through 3 games already, their leading scorer, senior Caleb Morey, at 16.7 points per game, shooting 37% from the floor, including 11 three-pointers. He had 26 points against Alexandria last week. You also add in the mix Riley Miller at 16.3 points a contest, and the big man down low, Riley Neal, at 11 points per game. 3 guys in double digits for this Yorktown squad. Going to be a tough opponent for the Delta Eagles. That's where we bring in Connor Sink, our new Delta voice here on DCV. Connor, you got to check out these Delta Eagles in their season opener against the Pendleton Heights Arabians. For anyone that hasn't seen this Delta team yet this season, what can they look forward to here tonight?
Well, you can definitely look for a solid defense, Rob. They came out, and the first thing when I talked to head coach Ryan Van Skyek, is the first thing that he wanted to enforce to me is that their defense is going to be a little bit changed. They're going to be more aggressive, and you see that they have a man-on-man defense, and kind of is ran by the younger brother of Cameron Slavin, Caleb Slavin, and they kind of had a good duo going on here. Actually, Caleb Slavin's not going to be starting tonight because he was sick. He's been sick all week, so he's not starting. Actually, in his place is going to be John Clausen. So it's going to be a little bit something different to see, but throughout the first game, it was an awesome defense to look at, an awesome defense to see, and then on the offensive side, it's getting ran, the offense, by a sophomore, Tanner Lambert, a new face to Delta Eagles, and actually almost everybody on the Delta Eagles is a new face,
right?
Including the head coach, brand new head coach Ryan Van Skyek. The only returner on this team is Cameron Slavin, also their lead scorer. Last year in 2013, he averaged about 13 points a game. And he still is the average scorer to this moment. He did very good in the season opener, and he still does very good at this moment in time. And then you also have Tanner Lambert. And then the third offensive threat his name's Maurice Richardson. And when I asked him, the coach, he actually said they call him Mo. So I've been calling him Mo. Mo Richardson out there. And they're a good team. They're a good team. They just have a lot to get ironed out, a lot to smooth over. Everyone's new except for your returning senior. And it's just it's a learning experience for everybody. And hopefully they can come out and work on what they need to and have a good game.
And you mentioned Slavin and Clausen, the two seniors in the starting lineup, but a lot of young, fresh faces for Delta, a lot of underclassmen, a lot of sophomores getting playing time through the 4 games that Delta has played. Their 1 win so far this year, a 20-point victory over Cowan back on December 5th, but they lost to a very good Pendleton Heights team, a very good Winchester team that is now coached by Matt Fine, the former coach of the Muncie Central Bearcats, and they're coming off of a 45-28 loss to Jay County. But like you mentioned, a new coach for Delta, somewhat of a new look as how they play basketball with Ryan Van Skyok replacing Stan Doherty, the longtime head coach here for this Delta boys basketball team. But as you see on your video screen, it is Greg Miller. This is his 4th year at Yorktown, so he knows the coaching style. He played here at Yorktown, he played at Ball State, and now he's just always been involved in Delaware County. So you can kind of mention the fact that he is kind of a legend. Not exactly, he's only been coaching for 4 years, but he has a lot of aspect to his name compared to the rookie coach Ryan Van Skyok. There you see they retired his number here at Yorktown. Greg Miller definitely going to see what he can do to lead this Yorktown team. And Delta looking to put up a good fight here in this rivalry. As we'll take a quick timeout, your starting lineups and the national anthem here coming up next on DCV.
Mobile King is your AT&T authorized dealer with locations in Bluffton, Decatur, Huntington, New Haven, and Fort Wayne. And right now, you can get a smartphone for $0 down with AT&T Next, a new way to get a new device every year with no down payment, no activation fee, no upgrade fee, no finance fee. AT&T Next. Visit your local Mobile King for complete details or visit online at mymobileking.com. Requires a 12-month 0% APR installment agreement and qualifying credit. Wireless service plan required.
There's just one place.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Robert Connett, Connor Sink, and Wes Lorenz with you here on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Folks, don't forget to interact with us and follow us on Twitter at Delaware Co Voice. We'll tweet updates throughout the entire broadcast here tonight. We might even give a shout out to a few people if you interact with us on Twitter here tonight. A packed house, as you saw on your video screen. You got the Yorktown student section supporting the camo theme, and a special night here tonight as it is Indiana National Guard Night. The Yorktown Tigers will support special white and camo jerseys as we'll get ready for tonight's national anthem performed by the Yorktown Pep Band. There we have tonight's national anthem performed by the Yorktown High School Pep Band. And now, as they always do for Yorktown home boys basketball games, they will shut out the lights here inside the gymnasium as they announce the starting lineups for both teams.
It's something, I actually, our high school, we never did this, the whole lights shutting down and all that stuff, so this gets me really pumped up for these games.
The starting lineups for the Delta Eagles. At one guard will be number 14, Rylan Sullivan. He is a 5'10 sophomore. Another guard is Tanner Lambert, the 6-foot sophomore, like you mentioned. Connor, one of the go-to guys for this Delta offense so far this season. Cam Slavin getting a start at a third guard position. He is a 6'2 senior. And the two forwards for the Eagles tonight, 5'11 senior John Clausen and 5'8 sophomore Mo Richardson. For head coach Ryan Van Skyok, Delta Eagles coming in at 1-3 on the season, 0-1 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference, as they will shut out the lights to announce the Yorktown starting lineup. There it is. We have that starting lineup for you here as well. At a guard will be the 6-foot senior, number 3, Caleb Morey, averaging 17 points per contest. 6'1 senior, number 11, Riley Miller, will be at another guard for the Yorktown Tigers. The two forwards are Carson Moore, a 6'3 senior, and Jacob Preston, a 6'2 senior. And the big man down low will be number 32, the 6'5 senior, in Riley Neal. Again, like we mentioned, it is Indiana National Guard Night, so as you see, the Yorktown Tigers wearing the special white and camo jerseys with words on their chest like respect, loyalty, integrity, honor. And it's always a good reminder of everyone that serves our country, especially those in the Indiana National Guard, being honored here tonight on this special night for this rivalry matchup between the Delta Eagles and the Yorktown Tigers. Again, Yorktown coming in with a 2-1 record. This is their first conference game of the season. Delta at 1-3. They have already played a conference game, that season opener loss to Pendleton Heights. So Delta trying to pick up that first HHC win of the season, as is Yorktown. Thanks for joining us here this Friday evening on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Again, our cameraman is Wes Lorenz, color commentator Connor Sink, and I'm Robert Connett. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter as we get ready for the opening tip-off between the Eagles and the Tigers here inside a loud, packed gymnasium in Yorktown, Indiana. Tip-off going to be controlled by the Tigers. We're underway at YHS. As Morey will bring it up and set up the offense for the Tigers. Again, this Yorktown team coming in averaging 59 points per game. Caleb Morey, their leading scorer, at just under 17 per contest. Preston in the corner, kicks it back out to Miller on the wing. Miller directing traffic, now over to Morey, now the right side. Moore will try a three, off the front of the rim, no good. Preston with the offensive board, blocked from behind by Slavin, but Yorktown picks it back up. Neal inside, off the glass, and good. Yorktown on the board first.
Yorktown does a good job on that possession, being patient. They get an open look at a three from Carson Moore. Preston collects the rebound, and eventually it results in the first 2 points of this contest.
And now Delta's offense for the first time tonight. Sullivan, pass over to the left side for Lambert. That's Miller on defense, tipping it to the backcourt. Lambert picks it back up. And now Mo Richardson over to the left side for Lambert. Near the top of the key, Lambert looking to drive inside, going to go up, blocked by Neal. Riley Neal is averaging 2 blocks per contest, but then he threw it away over the head of his teammate Riley Miller, and it will go right back to the Eagles.
Riley Neal definitely going to be a threat on the inside in the paint for the Delta Eagles.
Inbound will go to Richardson. Just underway here at Yorktown. Tigers in front, 2-0. Inside the paint, Lambert is fouled, and that will be our first one of the night, going against the Yorktown defense. Number 11, Riley Miller, picking up his first. Richardson to inbound underneath Delta's own basket and get it to Slavin. He'll pull up a three off the mark, and the rebound going to Preston. Morey pushes up the court. Miller in the corner for a three, nothing but net. Riley Miller, his 8th triple of the season, and Yorktown with a 5-0 start. Slavin going to be called with a travel. A turnover by Delta. $5-0 with 6:07 to play here in the opening quarter. Miller will push it up to Morey in the corner. Gets the pick from Neal, looks to drive inside, hands it off to Neal. He stops baseline. Morey will try a three. He hits from the corner.
Wow. That's a hot corner there tonight.
Caleb Morey with his 12th three of the season, and it's 8-0 Yorktown with a hot start to tonight's game. Lambert underneath, and he lays it in, puts Delta on the board.
Mo Richardson kind of threading the needle there. Lambert was there, and there was only a little bit of space to fit that ball through.
8-2. Carson Moore controls it near the top of the key, hands it off to Preston, thought about a three. Now we'll move it back over to the right side. Miller inside to Neal. Neal will back out. And now to Miller. He'll reset the offense for Yorktown. On the far side to Neal. Lob pass inside to Moore. Backing up on Richardson. Looking to get it up. Off the glass. No good. Richardson with the rebound for Delta. He'll take it the other way. 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Three-pointer on the way. Nothing but net from the left side. It's Tanner Lambert.
And we saw last year, Tanner Lambert, ice water in his veins. Delta pushes the pace there on offense, gets it to Lambert at the elbow. He's able to knock one down.
8-5. Preston, quick pass over to Morey. Looking to drive, going to lob it up off the front of the rim. Gets his own rebound, put back good. Pretty simple and easy for Caleb Morey. He has 5 of Yorktown's 10, and a timeout taken by Ryan Van Skyok. What a start to this game offensively for both teams, really. Tanner Lambert with all 5 points for Delta. Morey with 5 for the Yorktown Tigers. And it's 10-5, 3.5 minutes into tonight's contest.
Something I noticed, actually, a good call by Coach Ryan Van Skyok, putting Caleb Slavin back in to kind of neutralize Riley Neal. And Riley Neal's a threat because with Caleb Slavin out there, he's one of the biggest guys on their team. It's going to even out the level of play on the court tonight.
Cam Slavin at 6'2", Riley Neal at 6'5". But, yeah, like you mentioned, Connor, at 6'2", Cam Slavin, the tallest player on the floor right now for Delta. Like we mentioned, Caleb Slavin at 6'4", not playing tonight. Not starting tonight, I should say. He has checked in, though, number 50. As the turnover, up pass, Miller, back to Neal. He's going to lay it in.
Like I said before, Caleb Slavin, he put him in. He was sick all week, and you could see he wasn't even down there when Riley Neal got that ball. We're going to hopefully he can overcome that and have a good game tonight as he puts up a shot.
Slavin knocks it down. So there we go. Caleb Slavin from the bench knocking it down. 12-7. Back the other way. Miller for 3. That's no good. Richardson with the board, and he'll push up the pace. Pass. Lay in, good. That's Rylan Sullivan.
And both teams working very well in transition here tonight, getting points, pressing the gas pedal as soon as they get the ball on either side of the court. We could see a game end 70-60 here tonight.
Already a hot start, 12-9. Yorktown in front. Corner, back out. Morey, top of the key three is no good, and a foul going to be called on the rebound. I think they're going to call it on Sullivan. Might have had a push-off on the rebound. And so that'll be Sullivan's first, and the first for Delta.
Yeah, Moore was trying to sneak around Sullivan there on his outside, and he just gave him a little shove, and that's going to draw the foul.
Riley Peace has checked in for Delta. Inbound goes to Morey. To the corner, Preston will try a three. Off the side of the rim, no good, and the rebound goes to Cam Slavin. 3:10 to play here in the opening quarter. Tigers up by 3. Slavin looking to drive. Moore knocked a hand in there to get it loose, and the turnover. Yorktown will bring it the other way. Caleb Morey on the far side.
We're seeing good defense from both teams right now.
Absolutely. And Moore walked before he took off. The turnover by the Tigers. But really, this is exactly what we expected with a hot start for both teams. Both teams knocking down shots, both playing very well defense as well.
Definitely.
Forcing a couple of turnovers.
Mo Richardson's doing good on running the offense currently. I said Tanner Lambert before, but it seems that he's kind of shifted in that position of the leader of the Delta Eagles offense.
Slavin missed the jumper. Neal with the rebound. And now Riley Miller will set up the offense. Pass over to Morey on the side, and he stuttered stepped. That'll be a turnover.
Traveling's being a big issue right now. People are walking with the ball and not dribbling, and it needs to be something that can be addressed.
Couple of substitutions for Yorktown coming in is Trey Cates and Ben Conti. 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 12-9, Yorktown in front. Richardson will set up the offense for Delta. Works it to the right side, and he carried it. Back-to-back turnovers by both teams.
Like I said, that's something that needs to be addressed pretty early in this game, is people need to be dribbling without picking it up and walking.
Richardson will sub out. Back in is Sullivan for the Eagles. And Morey will bring it up the floor for the Tigers. So we talked about a hot start, but now that's kind of stalled with back-to-back turnovers by both teams. Cates in the corner. Guarded by Sullivan. Kick out. They work it to Morey. Now Neal on the far side. Back over. Miller will try the three. Off the glass, no good. The rebound to Caleb Slavin.
Like I said, see how most people, they've stepped off trying to throw it to Riley Neal because Caleb Slavin out there really neutralizes the threats on the court.
Yep, that's a good matchup, too. And there's a turnover. Going to be called against Riley Peace. He walked. My, oh my, that hot start has definitely stalled. .138 to play here in the first quarter. Miller, kick out. Morey for three in the far side, and he is fouled. Morey will go to the line to shoot three as the foul going to be called against Tanner Lambert.
And he's not happy with it. He's kind of throwing his hands up like I didn't touch him.
He might have. Morey knocks down the first one. And he has 6 points.
Caleb Morey's not afraid to sell a call is what we're saying.
He'll do it every once in a while. Yeah, it worked there. Morey coming into tonight, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He knocks down all three there. 8 points for the senior here in the first quarter. 15-9, Yorktown in front with 1:20 to play. Bounce pass inside, and referee blew their whistle. They're going to call a foul against Miller once again. That'll be his second. And the team's second. Carson Moore will check back in as Miller in foul trouble with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, having 2 fouls already in the first quarter, it's not a good way to kick off the game.
Inbound goes to Lambert. He'll try the three off the side of the rim, and it'll go out of bounds. And it'll be Yorktown ball.
Want to keep seeing him try those shots. Just has to put a little more into it so he can get into the net.
Morey will bring it up for the Tigers. Pass to Conti. And now Neal. Conti, and he shuffled his feet again. Another turnover by Yorktown. I'll give it right back to Delta with 1 minute left here in the opening quarter. And now Lambert will bring it up. Man-to-man defense for Yorktown. Sullivan to Peace, now to the volleyball line. 35 seconds to go. Lambert controls it, 30 seconds. Delta might hang on for the last second shot here in the first quarter. Down to 18 seconds.
Looks like they are holding on to it, and Tanner Lambert just going back and forth up and down the court.
So again, we talked about it, Connor. A very hot, quick start for both offenses. And it definitely stalled after that 3-minute mark. Going in,
Definitely.
Lambert, and he got hacked by Riley Neal. That will stop the clock with 5 seconds to go, and Lambert will go to the line to shoot 2.
Kind of something that you think Tanner Lambert was planning is killing time a little bit, then going up and trying to draw a foul, and he did it perfectly. Now he's up on the line for a couple scores, a couple points for the Delta Eagles.
Knocks down the first one. That puts Delta in double digits at 15-10. And make it 11. As Lambert knocks down both free throws. Morey will bring it up. 3 seconds to go until the end of the first. He'll pull up a deep 3, and he hits it at the buzzer.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. Caleb Morey finishes the first quarter with 11 points.
Talk about answering right off a goal. He runs right down, just puts up a three-pointer with second left on the clock. It didn't even bounce, just went right there, nothing but net.
2 threes in that first quarter for the senior Caleb Morey. 11 of the 18 points for the Tigers. He has as many points as Delta has as a team. At the end of one, the Tigers in front 18-11. We'll be back from Yorktown High School in a moment on DCV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's kind of fitting that Caleb Morey is wearing a Indiana National Guard jersey number 3 that says respect. You have to respect the three-point shooter. As he knocked one down at the buzzer, the senior has 11 points for Yorktown as we begin the second quarter.
Like I said, this game right now, it's pretty evenly matched, but if Caleb Morey there, he's racking up all the points for Yorktown and giving him a 7-point lead.
And look at his defense on Tanner Lambert as Lambert hands it off to Sullivan. And now Richardson, who's checked back in to start the second quarter.
You're seeing a very aggressive man-on-man here from the Tigers.
Nice drive, baseline for Lambert. I'll make it 18-13. And Neal going up for the shot, and he was fouled by Caleb Slavin trying to go for the block.
Every time that hand goes up above the head, it can't be good. And he tried to hit the ball and ended up grazing Riley Neal's head there. And he'll be up there for a couple foul shots.
Riley Neal to the free throw line, and he missed the first one. Coming in, Neal, 2 of 9. He is struggling at the beginning of the season from the charity stripe. He's now 2 of 10. Knocks down that one. 3 of 11 on the season. And Riley Neal with 5 points here in this first half. 19-13, Yorktown in front. And they're going to say travel called against Cam Slavin.
He caught it, and then he did a little jump step, and that jump step's enough to call it a travel, and it's going to go back to the Tigers.
So we had the end of that first quarter, really the last 3 minutes or so. Lots of turnovers, unforced by both teams. Lots of travels. Neal back out to Preston. Working the right side, and now Moore in the corner. To Morey, tries the 3, and a foul away from the ball.
Riley Neal wants nothing to do with Caleb Slavin here. Every time he gets the ball, he'll look and see Caleb Slavin right there, and he'll throw it right back out. Right. You can see the even matchup.
It's a good matchup down low. That foul went against Ben Conti away from the ball. They called a moving screen, so that's his first, the fourth against Yorktown, and inside the bucket for Caleb Slavin. He has 4, and that makes it a 4-point deficit for Delta. Conti inside to Neal with Slavin on defense. Neal trying to back him down. The turnaround jumper, no good, and going for the rebound. A foul going to be called against Mo Richardson as he and Ben Conti both took a tumble. So Mo Richardson will pick up his first personal foul.
Yeah, tough break for Mo there. As with Delta, you want to play aggressive, try and get that rebound and start the offense going the other way. That time Richardson gets a little too aggressive.
Morey will try another 3 off the iron, no good. And the rebound to Sullivan. He'll push it up the floor for Delta. With Preston on defense, trying to get a hand in there. Somehow getting away from it is Sullivan. Good save from out of bounds. Behind the back by Conti to save it. Yorktown back the other way. Morey going to go up for it. No good. The rebound to Sullivan once more. He'll give it to Richardson to bring it up the floor. 5.5 to play here in the second quarter. Yorktown up by 4. Richardson. And the steal by Neal, and then he was held on to by Slavin.
Wow, you can definitely see when you have the type of athleticism where you can jump out of bounds, grab the ball, and throw it behind your back to another player. That just shows how athletic you can be in this sport.
And I'll correct myself. That foul actually was called against Richardson. So he picks up his second. It's the 5th against Delta. 5:20 to play here in the first half. 19-15, Yorktown in front. Conti pass inside of Preston. Backing up on Pease, and thought it was a clean block, but they'll call the foul. Delta student section not happy about it. As you see them in the bottom left corner of your video screen. There we go. We have the Delta student section here on our side of the gym, and across the floor is the Yorktown student section supporting the camo theme to go along with the National Guard uniforms as Preston knocks down the first free throw.
The substitution in there, it looks like Richardson's out. They're putting in Rylan Sullivan.
So Sullivan will check back in. He had 2 points in that first quarter. Jacob Preston knocked down the first free throw. The second one also good. So Preston on the board with his first 2 points of the night. And the Tigers go up by 7. Five minutes to play. Pease stopped on the baseline. Pass inside, knocked away by Moore. Picked up by the Tigers the other way. Miller to Moore in the corner. Back to Moore on the wing. Morey gets the pick, pulls up the jumper off the front of the rim, no good. Ball tipped all the way back out, and they'll play it on. Neal thought it was going to be a backcourt violation, but apparently that ball was tipped by Delta. So Yorktown will try it again.
We're starting to see Morey's fire kind of die down a little bit. Not as many shots are going in this quarter.
Miller controls it. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Moore, he walked before he took off. I think all of these guys, both Delta and Yorktown, they're just anxious to play.
Yeah, they're just so ready. They're so ready for this rivalry game that they run before they dribble.
Right. And you know what? Wes mentioned it in the pregame show. Most of these Yorktown guys finished out the football season. They had to hurry up and get practices in before maybe they're still in football mode, trying to run the ball.
Definitely.
I'd like to see one of these players try and dribble a football. That'd be kind of interesting to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would make this game a little more interesting.
substitution. Riley Neal is out. Chase Kennedy has checked into the lineup for the first time tonight for Yorktown.
And notice that once Neal went out, so did Slavin.
Yep. Lambert controls it on the far side of the floor. Pass over to Cam Slavin, guarded by Moore. The man-to-man defense. Inside, and they're going to call a foul.
For another little jump step.
But check that.
Cam's
one referee overruled the other and said that Cam Slavin walked before he was fouled.
Yeah, working underneath the paint. Slavin, he jumped underneath the Yorktown defender to try and get better positioning. They're going to call that a travel.
So another turnover by the Eagles. 3:10 to play, and there's a turnover by Yorktown.
Something if you're about to make a cut, you still got to have your eye on the ball. Make sure you see it, just in case they're going to pass it back to you. He wasn't looking, just bounced off his shoulder, went out of bounds.
These guys are getting a little sloppy.
It's like I said, I think everyone's so anticipated, everyone's so into it that they're forgetting the basic fundamentals that they need to know in order to play this game.
3 minutes to play till halftime. Driving in, Lambert, and he got tied up.
It looked like a harsh game of Red Rover.
Moore and Morey both stopped him, but they're going to call it on Morey, and that'll be his first. Richardson to inbound for Delta. 2:59 to play. Yorktown in front by 6 at 21-15, and another turnover. Caleb Slavin will check back in. Riley Miller and Trey Cates will enter the game for Yorktown. (21-15), Yorktown in front. Delta is actually outscoring Yorktown 4-3. Morey controls it. And he'll reset the offense. Pass over to Miller in the corner. Looking to drive inside. He's stopped. Back out to Morey, top of the key. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Miller. 21-15, a low-scoring second quarter between the Tigers and the Eagles. Yorktown in front will take the timeout with them. Be back in a moment here on DCV.
In Fort Wayne, two sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team become state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7th state championship for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Coming out of the Coach Miller timeout. Tigers in front of the Eagles 21-15. Delta outscoring Yorktown 4-3 here in this low-scoring and somewhat sloppy second quarter, as Delta has 11 turnovers.
Yeah.
In this first half, Yorktown was 7.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, they came out guns blazing in the first quarter. Everyone was just ready to go and was scoring and doing a good job. And in the second quarter, you can kind of see it all died down, and they're playing a little sloppier.
The missed shot by Preston. Lambert will set up the offense for Delta with 1:40 to play till halftime. Richardson to Sullivan. Quick pass to Lambert on the right side. Pass knocked out of bounds by Neal. Ben Conti will check back into the lineup for the Tigers, and he is going to replace. He's trying to figure out who he's replacing. It'll be Miller. As Miller will have a seat on the bench. Richardson inbound. Slavin, the jumper off the front of the rim, no good. And Conti will bring it up for Yorktown. Yorktown has not made a field goal in this game. All 3 points coming from free throws. Here's Kennedy. And off the glass, no good. Conti with a putback. That's no good. The rebound to Slavin. 1 minute to play here in the first half. Lambert over to Richardson left side, looking to drive baseline, and a foul going to be called against Chase Kennedy.
You've
on
seen
the baseline.
You've seen a lot of good passing from the Delta Eagles as they pass between Mo Richardson, Sullivan, and Tanner Lambert. They seem to be working the ball around and trying to find a dent or a chip in the armor here in the Yorktown's defense.
Richardson's going to check out. Tanner Lambert to inbound for Delta. And he'll get it into Riley Pease, who's back into the game. 50 seconds to play till half. 21-15, Yorktown leads it. Same situation as the first quarter. Delta looking to get the last second shot. Down to 20 seconds.
Definitely killing time here. Sullivan has the ball and he's kind of working it around.
And now the Yorktown defense closes in. And Coach Van Skyok going to take a 30-second timeout. 9.6 seconds left. Delta going to draw up a play. See if they can get on the board before the end of this first half. We'll keep it here.
Okay. Just have a look. You had the mouse. You're waiting.
I was waiting for it.
No,
get a good look at the Yorktown student section.
That's probably my favorite. Favorite outfit out there. So.
Anthony Todd, I believe.
There we go. We got
we
got someone playing the guitar.
A guitar air horn right there. Beautiful. No, Coach Van Skyok's got to talk to the team here. Got to tell them what exactly he wants from them as they're killing time out there. Because if you were looking, Cam Slavin was kind of looking back. They're trying to talk in the court, like mid play, and it's always a hard thing to do. So he probably called that timeout, kind of clear the air, kind of figure out what exactly they need to get done. And now they're going to try and get it done.
Let's see what they do. They inbound to Slavin. Now they give it to Lambert. 5 seconds left. Lambert looking to drive in, and he carried the ball, says the referee.
Oh.
Make it 12 turnovers for Delta in this first half.
Basic fundamentals.
And now with 4 seconds to go, Yorktown will get a chance to score some points. They inbound to Neal. 2 seconds.
Yep.
More at the buzzer.
Oh.
No. Off the back of the rim, no good. And your halftime score, Yorktown in front of Delta, 21-15. The two teams combined for 7 points in that second quarter. 6-point advantage for the Tigers at the break. Coming up next, your halftime report here on DCB.
You began building your resume when you enrolled in the EPIC program at the University of St. Francis. A defining moment for your future. EPIC students are led by accomplished professors who believe in you and are there to guide you through a business program that provides work experience and executive mentorship. Don't just get a degree. Get experience and a resume that can only be described as
impressive.
The University of St. Francis. This is your moment. Believe.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The Tigers have won! In sectional 80-68, the Tigers knock off the number 3 ranked Bishop Loers.
For over 5 years, the Voice Sports Network has brought you coverage of high school sports in Northeast and East Central Indiana.
Arias breaks a tackle, gets to the outside. Boom, big block by Travis Crow, touchdown.
Arias Vasquez, wow.
Since the start in 2009, the Voice Sports Network has expanded to 6 different websites in Wells County, Adams County, Allen County, Delaware County, DeKalb County, and Blackford County, bringing you broadcast of football, volleyball, boys and girls basketball, baseball, and softball for 17 different high schools.
Back by Gillis as a sophomore. Yorktown has it. Kastner will give it a go. Boom! Marley Kastner.
Thanks to the fans and sponsors for the continued support of the Voice Sports Network.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport.
Pure determination. Nothing is going to stand in the way of my becoming the best student athlete I can be.
Pure spirit, pure sport.
Pure leadership. I don't just play an important role on my team. I play an important role in my community.
Pure spirit, pure sport.
Pure sportsmanship. I recognize the attitude counts, and that being a good sport is the only way to play.
There are plenty of ways student athletes in Indiana demonstrate the values of high school sports. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we salute each and every one of them. The IHSAA, pure spirit, pure sport.
Pure effort.
Pure dedication, pure Indiana.
This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Do you own a business or know of a business in Delaware County that would be interested in sponsoring high school sports on DCV? Delaware County Voice is looking for businesses to sponsor Yorktown and Delta Athletics this season. Sponsorship deals start as low as $30 a week. If you know of a business that's interested, contact us on Facebook or Twitter, or find us at the game. Start your business's partnership with DCV today.
Last season, we asked you, DCV Nation, to help us reach 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Are you following Delaware County Voice on Twitter?
And you came through in the clutch. Now, with that goal reached, we return with a new task. DCV Nation, we ask you to help us reach 2,000 followers. Rise to your feet. Go to your laptops and smartphones. Get on your Twitters and follow at Delaware Co Voice. You have the talent. You have the skill. Now, have the desire. Follow us at Delaware Co Voice.
Yeah, do what our colleague Tony Sandleben in his epic voice told you to do.
We need to have him come and do a whole game that way. And Yorktown has the ball.
Follow us on Twitter at Delaware Co Voice, trying to reach 2,000 followers by the end of our school year with Yorktown and Delta. At the moment, we are at 1,314 followers. So be sure to follow us at Delaware Co Voice.
It's a fancy little game here.
Chuck a puck.
Chuck a puck into the eye of the tiger. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing these
and wait, hold on,
fans do.
Are they playing Eye of the Tiger too? It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Good call. Good call by the Yorktown Pep Band. Hey, we're at halftime here at YHS. It's Yorktown in front of Delta 21-15. Robert Connett, Connor Sink, and Wes Lorenz back with you here on DCV. And guys, we said it throughout that first half, and we'll say it again, a very hot, quick start to both teams in that first quarter. 18-11 was the score at the end of one. You can do the math. Not very much scoring in that second quarter. Lots and lots of unforced turnover, lots of sloppy ball by both teams. To our account, Delta with 12 turnovers, Yorktown with 7.
Yeah, it's kind of what you mentioned. They must be just so anxious to be playing this game, this rivalry game, that they might just be completely forgetting the basics of basketball.
And I think another fact that's playing into that is the referees are calling a very tight game in terms of the traveling calls. A lot of times you'll see referees be a little more lenient when, players will start moving their feet and then dribble the ball. These refs here tonight are not having any of it. You've seen time and time and time again, a couple times by Carson Moore, the feet shuffle, and then they get the call.
So with that low-scoring second quarter, we have a 21-15 score at the break, and individually, Caleb Morey leading all scorers with 11, although he was held scoreless in that second quarter. Other Yorktown scorers, Riley Neal with 5, Riley Miller with 3, and Jacob Preston with 2. That's it.
He doubled everyone's scoring in one quarter.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. No other way to sugarcoat it. It's pretty good.
Able to knock down that 3 at the buzzer to end that first quarter was Caleb Morey. For Delta, their lone guy in double digits already, Tanner Lambert with 10. Caleb Slavin has 4. Ryan Sullivan with 2. That's it. That's all we got for the Delta Eagles.
I think he had those together and actually puts them at 15.
Let's see here. 10, 4, and 2. That's actually 16. I may have done my math wrong.
Uh-oh. It is 21-15.
That's right. So somebody missed a free throw, and I actually granted them that.
Is it finals week, Rob?
It is. Luckily, it's over for us Ball State students. It's been a tough week, and my brain hurts. So yes, I will blame Ball State finals week for that.
Chirp, chirp.
Absolutely. We're on Christmas break officially, and just 13.
Whoa. Holiday break.
That's right.
Come on now.
Hey,
winter break. My bad. But, happy early holiday wishes to everyone out there, as this will be our final broadcast of the 2014 calendar year. We'll come back in January, and the reason for that, folks, is we need sponsors pretty badly here on DelawareCountyVoice.com in order to continue broadcasting Yorktown and Delta boys and girls basketball. So if you know of a business out there in Delaware County that would be interested in sponsoring Yorktown or Delta basketball here on DCV, package plans start at just $30 a week in order to get your company name on our broadcast and support some Yorktown and Delta athletics.
I don't even think it has to be. It can be a company, but if you personally, respect Delaware County Voice and you like Delaware County Voice and you want to give us some money, some sponsors, we'll
just put your name in there?
Yeah, we'll give you your own ad, your very own ad.
There we go.
If you want to ask a girl to prom,
there you go.
There we go. $30 a week, and we can deliver that message personally on the broadcast. Yeah, that's good. So,
dear Jenny,
please come to prom with me.
You never know.
It could work.
But anyway, yes, we're needing some sponsors here on DCV in order to continue broadcasting Yorktown and Delta sports. So again, if you know of anyone that owns a business or just wants to get their name out there, $30 a week. It starts at that. We're looking for sponsors. Contact us on Facebook or Twitter, or you can email rmconnett@bsu.edu and get your company on air during our broadcast.
You could also send chainmail to that particular email address.
Yeah, there you go. Ball State might block it, though. You never know. 21-15, the halftime score. Yorktown in front of Delta. We'll take a quick timeout. Second half coming your way here on DCV.
Interact with Delaware County Voice through social media. Like us on Facebook. Simply search Delaware County Voice. And be sure to follow us on Twitter @DelawareCoVoice.
We'll let you know of any breaking news from the schools in the county, when our next broadcasts are, and post updates during the games. DelawareCountyVoice.com on Facebook and Twitter. Third quarter underway here at Yorktown High School. Tigers with the ball and the lead, 21-15, and we start the third quarter with a turnover as Preston sends it off the shoulder of Caleb Morey.
Morey was not happy about that.
I don't even think he was ready for it. Either.
Yeah. That's another thing. You've seen a lot of early shots.
8 turnovers for Yorktown now in this game. So now Delta will get a chance to start this third quarter.
Like I said, that's the second time Yorktown they've passed the ball to someone who wasn't looking.
It's been pretty sloppy tonight, that's for sure. Lambert, and away from the ball, a foul going to be called going the other way. Moving pick going to be called against 30 Cam Slavin.
Would have gone into that would have been a 17-21 for Delta, but looks like it isn't. Morey's going to be able to try another shot on this offense.
Morey pass over to Neal, and now Moore. Morey to Moore, top of the key, back to Morey. Yorktown just passing it around, trying to find an open man. Moore will try the three far side, and it rims in. Carson Moore becomes the 6th different Tiger to score here tonight as he hits the triple. He's on the board. Now they get 24-15. And a travel going to be called against Cam Slavin.
Cam Slavin has had a lot of trouble this game with traveling. And that's something you don't want to see from such an offensive threat on the Eagles team. You have to have the basic fundamentals, and you have to be able to dribble and run at the same time.
Slavin with 6 turnovers individually and 0 points. Neal with the ball, looking to back in on Slavin. One-hand pass out to Moore. Now Morey. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Swinging around the left side, Miller. Now to Neal. Back to Miller, to Preston inside the paint. Up against Richardson, off the glass and good. Preston with his first field goal of the game.
Great series of passes there for the Yorktown Tigers. Riley Neal starts that series with a pass over his back. Miller feeds it inside to Preston, who's able to work inside. Finally get 2 points here for the Yorktown Tigers.
And that might have been the message that Coach Miller told the guys in the locker room as Delta turns it over. Neal gonna lay it in. He was a couple inches away from the dunk. Neal will take it though, his 7th point, and Delta will take the timeout as Yorktown already with 7 points to start this third quarter. And their lead is up to 13, largest of the night. But to finish my thought, guys, that's probably what Coach Miller said to these Yorktown guys in the locker room during halftime is we just need to pass the ball around, look for an open man, and get a good shot because they weren't able to knock down a single field goal in that second quarter.
Well, I think you saw in that second quarter when the three-pointer started to dry up for the Yorktown Tigers, they tried to work it inside. They tried to draw some fouls with Neal and Preston, but the Delta defense was having none of it. So you saw here to start this third quarter, Yorktown goes back to that spread open offense. They get a three-pointer from Carson Moore, make Delta respect the perimeter, and then they're able to work inside with Preston and Neal.
A 7-0 start for Yorktown here in this third quarter. 28-15. And again, this Tiger team coming in averaging 59 points per game. If they want to maintain that average, they're going to have to keep this hot start to the second half going. Delta, meanwhile,
hopefully we see this hot start continue out throughout both quarters and not another die-off like we saw in the second quarter.
Right. Delta wants to join the party get some points on the board to start.
That's what it is here. It's
this
the
third quarter.
Giant party.
Richardson on the wing. Pass over to Lambert on the right side. Lambert had 10 points in that first half for Delta. I'll get it back out to Richardson. Quick pass. Lambert will try the three. Hits it.
Put it in.
Third three of the night for Tanner Lambert. Cuts the deficit to 10.
Give the ball to him.
28-18. And he is now leading all scorers here tonight with 13. Preston will pull up the jumper. He hits. Jake Preston now with 6 points on the night.
And Preston's go-to move is, drive in, get position, try and get for an easy bucket inside, but he's a respected shooter. You give him a little bit of space, he will put one up.
And Preston was coming in, shooting just 29% from the floor. Doing a better job here tonight against the Delta Eagles. Richardson, lob pass inside off the glass, and the foul going to be called. That'll send Caleb Slavin to the line. As the foul going to be called against Carson Moore. That'll be his first.
Caleb Slavin, not 100%, as the coach told us. Only been putting in when we see Riley Nealon or another big threat. He'll make his first one.
Again, Caleb Slavin battling some sickness this week. Did not get the start here tonight.
Doesn't seem to be affecting his free throws, though.
He's all good. He hits both of them. Makes it 30-20. Morey will try a three. Nothing but net from the right side. Was held scoreless in that second quarter, but he connects for his third triple here in the game. Back up by 13 are the Tigers, and now we're going to have a foul going against Yorktown. Against Miller. He walks over the referee with his mouth open, saying, what? And again, Riley Miller had to be taken out of that first half because of foul trouble. And that's what's going to happen here as well, as Jawan Tate will enter the game for the first time tonight. For Yorktown, Miller will have a seat with those 3 fouls. Richardson inbound underneath. Basket won't go for Slavin. The rebound to Yorktown with 3.5 to play here in the third. Morey. The jumper won't fall from the free throw line. The rebound to Delta, back the other way. Cam Slavin pulls up a three, and he missed all of it. Trying to save it from out of bounds was Riley Pease, but unable to do that, and the Yorktown student section will let him hear it.
Cameron Slavin not having the best of games tonight with so many turnovers. What did you say, 6?
Yep.
6 turnovers and 0 goals on the game.
33-20. Yorktown in front by 13. Yeah, some of these Delta top scorers have kind of struggled here tonight. Not Tanner Lambert, though. He has 13. But the rest of the Delta offense needs to help him out. The defense helps him there. Forcing the turnover. Lambert on the far side. They swing it to the left. Richardson passes into the corner. Bringing it back out is Sullivan. And now Richardson over. Lambert, corner 3, in and out. Ball tipped out, gathered up by Sullivan, and a second chance for the Eagles.
Good tip there by Caleb Slavin. Putting out into an open area for Sullivan to go grab.
Backdoor, Lambert wide open. And the sophomore with 15 points.
Props to Sullivan for Delta on that play as Yorktown takes the timeout. He did a good job chasing down that loose ball. Got Delta a second chance on there. Eventually resulted in an easy bucket, easy layup, with Delta now only trailing by 11.
That right there is just a matter of hustle, and he just out-hustled everybody else, got the ball, and continued the offensive run.
So like we mentioned, Tanner Lambert doing a lot of the work for the Delta offense. He has 15 of the 22 points. As we take a look inside Coach Van Skyhock's timeout huddle. Again, it was 18-11 at the end of one. 21-15 at halftime, but a 7-0 start to this third quarter has helped Yorktown pretty much maintain a double-digit lead for the majority of it.
Coach Van Skyke doing a good job of keeping his threats in right now. Tanner Lambert, Mo Richardson, and Caleb Slavin, and letting them do their work right now to try and catch up to the Tigers.
Neal controls it for Yorktown. Hook shot up and good. Riley Neal now with 9 points on the night. 35-22. As Richardson passes into the corner for Sullivan. He'll bring it out. More on defense, the man-to-man defense for the Tigers. Slavin over to Richardson. Going one-on-one with Juwan Tate. Gets it to Sullivan. He'll try the three. That's no good. And an over-the-back call going to be called by Riley Pease. It's a pretty easy call for the referee to make as he was right there.
You always got to be careful when their backs turn towards you. You always have to be careful and make sure you don't reach over the top of them and you don't bump into them.
Cam Slavin checks back in for Delta.
After giving him a little bit of a breather, maybe he can come back out and jump back onto his game and have a good ending 2 quarters, quarter and a half.
Trey Cates has checked in for Yorktown. He'll pass it over to Tate. Now Morey. They work to the right side. Back to Cates. 1:08 to play here in the third. 35-22. Yorktown in front, and they have been all game long. Preston gets it to Neal. Near the baseline with Caleb Slavin on defense and a foul away from the ball as Juwan Tate went flying. And a foul will go against Delta. And Mo Richardson going to be charged with the foul. His third. Inbound goes to Neal. 50 seconds to play here in the third. Morey inside to Neal. 37 seconds. Neal will back out. Hand it off to Morey, and they look to reset the offense. And now it looks like Yorktown will hold on for the last second shot. We saw Delta do that in both the first and second quarters. Morey looks over to Coach Miller on the sideline. 15 seconds, and he'll wait it out. And they'll go with 10 seconds. Morey will try a three off the front of the rim. No good for the putback. Did they give that to Neal or Cates? They were both there. They give it to Neal, and the half-court shot of the buzzer, no good. The 2-point putback for Riley Neal puts him in double digits, and that is how the third quarter will come to an end. Yorktown in front by 15. 37-22 as we get ready for the fourth quarter. We'll be back in a moment here on DCB.
Have you heard? Winning isn't everything. Championships are great, but there's more to sports than separating the world into winners and losers. The way we play matters too. The choice is simple. You can choose gamesmanship, or you can choose sportsmanship. Gamesmanship is another way of saying whatever it takes. You know the types. They taunt their opponents. Throw the occasional elbow for good measure. Whatever it takes to gain the upper hand. Sportsmanship relies less on underhanded tactics and more on things like strategy, skill, and smarts. It's less about stooping to trickery and more about rising to the occasion. Gamesmanship or sportsmanship? Both can lead to victory, but only one represents the true measure of a champion. Play like a champion. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Yorktown High School. The Tigers in front of the Eagles 37-22 after a 16-point third quarter for Yorktown. And we start the fourth with another turnover, unforced. This one going to Tanner Lambert as he carried the ball.
Tanner Lambert having a good game. He does not seem to agree with that call. Most times if you see somebody travel, they can nod and be like, yeah, I think I did, and they'll toss it up. He firmly believes that he did not travel there.
Sloppy basketball we've had by both teams. There's a foul going to be called. Going against 14, Ryland Sullivan. That'll be his second. The fourth on the Eagles. We say sloppy basketball because both teams have had a lot of turnovers. When it comes to fouls, it was actually pretty clean in that first half and even the third quarter as Cates missed the jumper. Back the other way, and Richardson passed to the wall. And there we have another turnover. Almost decked out a cheerleader over there on the baseline with that pass. So a 15-point lead for Yorktown here in the fourth quarter. Miller will bring it up for the Tigers. Kick out to Conti, and he shuffled his feet. Man.
Another. And like you said, if fouls are something, it's not. It's a fundamental, or it's something. It's not really. It's something you can work on, but this is just basic. It's basic basketball.
Right.
You're traveling is one of the first things that gets addressed when you're learning about basketball. It's one of those things that you have to keep up with, and it seems like they're just over anxious.
Slavin was fouled. That'll send him to the line for 2. As the foul going to be called against Chase Kennedy. His second. Slavin to the line, and he knocks down the first one.
Slavin doing a great job when he comes up to this free throw line. Has not missed one yet.
You jinxed him.
I did.
I haven't heard you knock on the wood. It didn't even help.
I know. I had that coming. I realized it when I said
Connor.
it. I realized when I said it. Oh, boy.
Caleb Slavin now 3 of 4.
I mean, that's proof knocking on wood doesn't work. Obviously.
6:45 to play in this fourth quarter. Miller will bring it up. Hand it off to Conti. Quick passes by Yorktown. Kennedy back to Conti near the left wing. Gets it inside to Trey Cates. Going one-on-one with Pease, but he missed the layup. Lambert quickly the other way for the Eagles. Looking to go inside, off the glass, too strong. Put back, rims out for Slavin. Third chance for Sullivan. He gets it to Slavin, and it gets to go.
Now that good job there by Caleb Slavin. He rebounded it off of Yorktown side, then rebounded on Delta side, then took the pass and put in a score for the Eagles.
A third chance basket by Slavin. He now has 9 points on the night as Coach Miller will take a timeout with 6:05 remaining in the fourth quarter. 37-25, the final, or the score here in the fourth quarter. Yorktown looking to advance to 3-1 on the season. Delta trying to pick up their second win of the year, coming in at 1-3. And already 0-1 in the conference as they lost the season opener to Pendleton Heights. Again, for the Tigers, this is their first HHC game. And coming into tonight's play, Pendleton Heights and Delta, that game that opened up the season was the only conference game of the year. But going on tonight, you got New Pal at Greenfield and Pendleton Heights at Mount Vernon, Shelbyville at Newcastle. So this is a lot of conference openers here tonight for a lot of HHC teams. Coming out of the Coach Miller timeout, Yorktown with the ball, under 6 minutes to play, leading by 12. Miller on the near side. Guarded by Riley Pease. He gets it inside to Kennedy. Back out. Miller will try the three. Got it! Miller knocks it down. His second three of the night. 40-25. As Slavin missed it, got his own rebound, and he puts it back in. Caleb Slavin now in double digits. Oh, Miller fouled on the baseline. That will be the 6th foul against Delta.
You can't exactly control where you land when you jump up in the air, and he just kind of landed on top of him there.
Foul will go against Caleb Slavin, his second. Mo Richardson will check in. Peyton Masters into the game for Delta for the first time tonight. Kennedy is out, and Riley Neal is back in. Inbound goes to Morey. 5:10 to play. Yorktown is now in the bonus next time Delta fouls.
Peyton Masters, he's been put in when Caleb needs a breather. Caleb needs to go out, and they still have Riley Neal or someone of taller, bigger mass come in. Peyton Masters has been the guy to go to on the court.
Foul going to go against Tanner Lambert. That'll be his second. Now send Riley Neal to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Neal 1 of 2 from the charity stripe tonight. And he knocks it down, earns a second. And we mentioned it last time he was at the free throw line. Riley Neal has struggled this year. Coming into tonight, he was 2 of 7 from the free throw line. Knocks down both there. Riley Neal, the big man, a 6'5 senior now with 13 points here in the game. Back up to a 15-point lead for Yorktown. 4:45 to play. Corner three, Sullivan, it rims out. Neal with the board. And Morey will bring it up with 4:35 to play. Pass over to Moore, left wing. Now to Miller, the catch and shoot three will not go. And it hit the wire up top. That'll belong to Delta. Folks, again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Shout out to Amy Lumen following us here tonight on Twitter at Delaware Co Voice. Trying to reach 2,000 followers by the end of the school year. We're just over 1,300.
Thank you, Amy.
Appreciate it, Amy. And what was that call?
I think Lambert made a. I thought Lambert made a 2.
They called that all. Did he step out of bounds?
I was too
Or
busy.
maybe he carried the ball.
I was too busy wanting to thank Amy.
They're not paying attention. Under 4 minutes to play here in the game, and Lambert fouls Morey. That'll be Tanner Lambert's third. Caleb Morey will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
3 minutes, 51 seconds left. Morey having a really, really good game points-wise.
That is 15 right there as he hits the free throw. And he's coming in averaging just under 17 a game. He had 26 against Alexandria last week, 21 against Muncie Central in the season opener. And there's number 16 on the night as he knocks down both free throws. 44-27. Yorktown in front. Richardson looking to go all the way, off the glass and good. Mo Richardson, his first points of the game. 44-29 with 3.5 to play.
Mo Richardson kind of been out there running the offense, passing the ball. He hasn't really had a chance to put up a shot, and we just saw his first shot of the game with 3 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock.
He's just the fourth different Eagle to score in this game.
Wow.
Neal's just kind of standing there with the ball.
Looks like they're trying to kill time right now. I'd kill in 3 minutes, though.
You know, no shot clock in high school. I've seen it done. So that's exactly what Yorktown's doing. Now Morey will go all the way. Missed it, but he did draw the foul. And Caleb will go right back to the charity stripe. Foul's going to go against Cam Slavin. That'll be his second. 9th foul on Delta, so now after this, Yorktown will be in the double bonus as Morey knocks down the first one. Got them both. Caleb Morey is 7 for 7 from the free throw line tonight. 46-29, Yorktown leads as Lambert goes in. Might have been fouled, nothing called, but the putback is good.
Yeah, that was a, clear foul. When you see the ball start going up one direction and move to the completely opposite while it's still in his hands, that's a definite foul there, but good job by Caleb Slavin for watching that ball move, grab onto it, and then put it up for a shot.
So Cam Slavin able to get his first bucket, or Caleb Slavin, my bad, with the putback.
Caleb Slavin doing a great job rebounding and putting up goals this entire game.
He has 13 points here tonight. So for Delta, you got 13 from Caleb Slavin, 14 from Tanner Lambert, and then just 2 apiece for Sullivan and Richardson. And that's your scoring. Yorktown has 5 different players that have scored tonight. It's all 5 starters.
At the beginning of this game, Coach Van Skyok sounded very, very iffy on whether or not Caleb Slavin was going to play, but after the performance we've seen Slavin do this tonight, he's obviously going to stay in for the rest of this game.
Yeah. Battled that sickness and able to come in tonight and put up double figures.
We don't know exactly what the sickness was, but just feeling
nothing
down.
too serious. Just,
no.
You got the cold going around. It's a possibility. As that foul going to go against Tanner Lambert, his 4th. Double bonus, Carson Moore will go to the line to shoot 2. And the first one rims in.
We've seen Carson Moore out here for the duration of this game. He's been playing a lot of good defense and pretty good offense.
Knocks down both free throws, and the senior Carson Moore with 5 points here in this game tonight. 48-31, Yorktown leads it. 2:05 to play in the game. Richardson, his pass got deflected. Trying to save it from out of bounds was Miller, but he gave it to Caleb Slavin, who lays it in. Caleb Slavin with 9 points in this quarter alone.
He's like a magnet. The ball is just floating right to him for rebounds and.
Morris pass to Cates. Had to save it from out of bounds. The other way goes Delta, and Richardson walked.
I think he knew because he pretty much tucked that like a football and ran out of bounds.
One and a half to play here in the game. Tigers up by 15. It's a relative close game in the first half, but again, Yorktown started the third quarter on a quick 7-0 run. That helped them go up to a double-digit lead, and they've been maintaining that through this entire second half. as Neal got hacked.
Yeah, I'm pretty
by Caleb Slavin, and Neal just put a smile on his face. All right.
That was the blatant smack there.
Yeah, Yorktown playing the four corners offense there, just passing the ball in a square formation on the offensive side of the court, just trying to eat some clock.
Looked like there was a verbal exchange there between Neal and Slavin. They're both laughing about something. Probably as they're trying to kill time. Looked like he just the foul was there on purpose to try and get the ball rolling, get moving.
Right. Neal misses the second one on the front end. That'll make it 49-33. Under a minute to play here in tonight's contest. Three-pointer on the way for Sullivan, and he hits. First three of the night for the sophomore Rylan Sullivan. He has 5 in the game. That makes it 49-36, and a timeout taken. As we'll take it with them. 45 seconds left in the game. Yorktown leading Delta by 13 on DCB.
There's still a place. There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players, and the terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Robert Connett, Connor Sink, Wes Lorenz back with you here on DCV. 45.7 seconds remaining in tonight's ball game. 49-36 in the inbound of Ben Conti, and he got ran over by Caleb Slavin over on the far side of the floor.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this before. Caleb Slavin played tight end for Delta football, and we definitely just saw what he can do as a tight end right there.
Absolutely.
Some fresh faces on the floor for the Yorktown Tigers. Number 4, Carter Bibbs, checked into the game.
Now it's got Blaine Harvey in there as well. Jawan Tate, Ben Conti, and Trey Cates, the rest of the Tigers on the floor as Ben Conti hits the free throw. He's on the board. And he misses the second one. So Yorktown hits 50. They lead by 14. Slavin underneath, and they're going to call a charge. And that will be his 5th. Delta fans don't like it. Caleb Slavin has fouled out of this game as a charge going to be called.
He didn't even realize it.
No.
Riley Pease is going to take his place for the time being.
Slavin will finish the game with 15 points. He had 4 at halftime.
A lot of his point scoring coming in the second half.
Rylan Sullivan going to be charged with the foul as Conti was running up the floor. So the junior, Ben Conti, will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2 more free throws.
For a non-starter, he had a very, very good game. Being an offensive threat and also a defensive threat. He'll make his first one.
Missed the second one once again. 2 of 4 is Ben Conti. Mo Richardson, look at that move to the glass.
He knew where he was going once he got that ball.
His 4th point. 20 seconds to go. And the steal by Riley Pease. He got tripped up. at the last second by Carter Bibbs.
Carter Bibbs getting a talking to from the referee after that one. As diving for the ball, he took out the legs of the Delta player driving up the court.
That's dangerous. We've seen a couple of leg injuries in the basketball world from things like that.
Carter Bibbs with his first foul. The inbound going to Cam Slavin, and he got fouled. I gotta say Jawan Tate got an arm in there.
Cam Slavin has not had a good game with points-wise. He doesn't have any, and he's definitely looking to put some points down, and he will try. And there it is.
Cam Slavin finally on the board with 6 seconds left in the game.
Has 2 points.
That will be your ball game. Yorktown picks up their first conference win of the year as they win on rivalry night, 51-40. The final over the Delta Eagles. The Tigers advance to 3-1. Delta will drop to 1-4. 11-point victory for the Tigers here on Indiana National Guard Night. Your post-game show coming up next here on DCB.
You don't have to sit at your desktop to listen to games on the Voice Sports Network. Take the game wherever you go. There are multiple ways to tune in, on your laptop, your tablet, or even on your smartphone. Tune into games on the Voice Sports Network at work, in your car, or even at the game. Be sure to tell your friends and family, and thanks for choosing the Voice Sports Network.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Indiana is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Last season, we asked you, DCB Nation, to help us reach 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Are you following Delaware County Voice on Twitter?
And you came through in the clutch. Now, with that goal reached, we return with a new task. DCV Nation, we ask you to help us reach 2,000 followers. Rise to your feet. Go to your laptops and smartphones. Get on your Twitters and follow at Delaware Co Voice. You have the talent. You have the skill. Now have the desire. Follow us at Delaware Co Voice.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. But the games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Indiana knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Do you own a business or know of a business in Delaware County that would be interested in sponsoring high school sports on DCV? Delaware County Voice is looking for businesses to sponsor Yorktown and Delta Athletics this season. Sponsorship deals start as low as $30 a week. If you know of a business that's interested, contact us on Facebook or Twitter or find us at the game. Start your business's partnership with DCV today.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The Tigers have won! In sectional 80-68, the Tigers knock off the number 3 ranked Bishop Lors.
For over 5 years, the Voice Sports Network has brought you coverage of high school sports in Northeast and East Central Indiana.
Arias breaks a tackle, gets to the outside. Boom, big block by Travis Crow, touchdown. Arias Vasquez, wow.
Since the start in 2009, the Voice Sports Network has expanded to 6 different websites in Wells County, Adams County, Allen County, Delaware County, DeKalb County, and Blackford County, bringing you broadcast of football, volleyball, boys and girls basketball, baseball, and softball for 17 different high schools.
Back by Gillis as a sophomore, Yorktown has it. Kastner will give it a go. Boom! Marley Kastner.
Thanks to the fans and sponsors for the continued support of the Voice Sports Network.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Indiana who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You began building your resume when you enrolled in the EPIC program at the University of St. Francis, a defining moment for your future. EPIC students are led by accomplished professors who believe in you and are there to guide you through a business program that provides work experience and executive mentorship. Don't just get a degree. Get experience and a resume that can only be described as
impressive.
The University of St. Francis. This is your moment. Believe.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Robert Connett, Connor Sink, and Wes Lorenz with you here on DelawareCountyVoice.com. And as you see on your video screen, we are joined by Riley Miller from the Yorktown Tigers basketball team as Riley and the Tigers win here tonight, 51-40, the final score. Yorktown picking up their 3rd win of the season. And Riley, with it being your senior year and the starting 5 of you guys that have kind of been playing basketball together for a very long time, you've encountered these Delta Eagles quite a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure it feels pretty good to win another rivalry game against Delta here tonight.
Yeah, in any sport, girls and boys, it's always good to beat the Delta Eagles. They're our rival. They're always great competition, and we like to beat great competition. They're going to give us a good game every game.
And you have the possibility of playing them in the county tournament and sectional, as we all know. Going into this game, what was the mentality? What was the preparation going into this game against Delta from Coach Miller, knowing that Delta kind of has a different look to their team this season?
We tried not to let them get easy catches close to the three-point line. We tried to extend as much as we could. Tried to fight through screens, tried to show on ball screens and hedge on screens. And we basically tried to limit their easy catches to get their offense started.
Now, Riley, with it being National Guard Night and you guys all sporting all the new jerseys and everything, and see it says loyalty across your jersey there. And did you pick that as a word, or is that just came with the jersey, or?
It just came with the jersey. I think all the words on here go with the National Guard. These are the words that the National Guard lives by, and they keep the United States of America free. So it's obviously a great word to live by.
Absolutely, absolutely. A good performance by a couple of your teammates here tonight. Caleb Morey maintaining his average on the season. He had 18 points here tonight. Can you talk a little bit about your teammates? And we kind of mentioned how you have, the starting five, you guys as seniors this year have kind of been playing basketball with each other for quite a while. But just touch up a little bit on your teammate Caleb Morey and Riley Neal as well, finishing in double figures here tonight.
Caleb's a great shooter. He's been like that his whole life. When he gets hot, he's not missing. Caleb, he can get a shot. He knows how to read the defense, and he's obviously good at it. Riley, he's a big body. He can work in the post. He can get offensive rebounds and put it right back up. He's great to have down low.
And I'm sure there are some people out there wondering. Caleb Morey did not play football, but some of you guys did, right? With you and Riley and Carson and Jacob. What was the transition? Because the football season kind of went a little longer than usual with that sectional championship. What was the transition in those weeks from football quickly right back into basketball season?
Those early practices, we were just trying to get our legs back. Trying to get, two different sports. It's amazing how two different sports makes different wear and tear on your body. For the first few practices, we kind of took it slow. Tried to get our legs back. Tried to get conditioning a little bit more. And once we got to the start of the season, we were there.
And for you, a lot of people were saying that you're a basketball guy, but you had a fantastic football season. Has that kind of made a few changes to possibly your future?
Yeah, it has. With the successes of football, I'm still trying to decide which sport I want to pursue.
All right.
But it's definitely an option.
Absolutely. We'll have to keep an eye on you and maybe get an update later on in the season and see if you've made a choice.
Okay.
But congratulations on the win here tonight, picking up the third win of the season here in this early year. 3-1, a good start for the season. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Riley Miller joining us here in the post-game show here on DelawareCountyVoice.com, getting the Yorktown aspect of it here tonight. And now we got the Delta aspect of tonight's game as well. We got head coach Ryan Van Skyok here with us in the post-game show on DCV. And Connor, you're the voice of Delta. I'll let you handle this interview.
I'll handle this one. Yeah. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How about you guys?
I'm good. It's a rough win. This is actually your first rivalry game. How do you think it went?
I told the coaches before we started, it kind of felt like a sectional atmosphere. Good crowds, good student sections, and I thought we came out and competed pretty good. Every game we've had a letdown in one of the quarters, and again, this was the third quarter. We went back to the Pendleton Heights game. We got outscored 15-2 in the third. The Jay County game, we got outscored 13-2 in the third. Winchester game, we got outscored 19-4 in the fourth. So we told our kids if we can cut out one of those bad quarters, we're right in all these games. And they're starting to get better, and they're starting to get a better grasp of the knowledge that they need to have for us to be successful.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's a learning experience for everyone here. It's your first year, and you're doing a great job for the first year. And it's also almost everyone else starting. It's almost their first year, except for Cameron Slavin. And having a group of brothers on the team, how does that work out with Cameron Slavin and Caleb Slavin? Is there they kind of know what's going on, or?
Yeah, they do. Practices sometimes get pretty funny because they like to argue with each other a little bit. But at the end of the day, they're two really good players. Caleb has a chance to be a Division I football player. Cameron's a really good basketball player. Our problem is our guards are so inexperienced. When people face and chase them, the curl is open, but our guards are not good enough yet to get them the ball. But they're getting better at it. We tell Cameron he's got to keep his head up. Everybody knows that's our only returning starter, our returning scorer. So he don't get very many good looks all night.
Yeah, you also have Tanner Lambert up at guard, and he's doing a great job. He actually had, 15 points on the game?
14 tonight.
14 tonight on the game. Kind of running the offense right now, along with Mo Richardson. How's that looking for him as a sophomore coming in, being one of the younger guys on the team, and having to run most of the offense and being one of the highest scorers?
Yeah, Tanner has a really good chance to be a really good player here. Mo, we're on him a lot because he turns the ball over way too much right now. I think he's averaging 5 or 6 a game, which is way too much for a guy to have the ball in his hands. So, again, we kind of told him with never playing before in the varsity experience is a whole different speed level, and they're starting to grasp on that game by game by game, and they're going to keep getting better at it. But right now we're just having too many turnovers. I think we had 18 tonight. It's just way too much.
Yeah, and then the last one I was going to leave you with, actually, we talked about before this game how Caleb Slavin, he wasn't going to be playing that much because he had a week. He wasn't feeling too hot. He was just more sick and wasn't going to start. But then I feel like when Riley Neal came out there and it was a perfect matchup between him and Caleb. Once he went out there, Caleb kind of got the ball rolling and actually played very well. Do you know exactly what was going on? Or
yeah, 5 or 6 of our kids had that virus going around, and it's hit other schools. I know Jay County, because where I came from, they had to cancel a girls' basketball game because they had 9 of their girls out one day, and it's just going around the school a lot. But Cameron was sick, Caleb was sick, Riley Pease was sick. So we had a lot of people that had the different flus, but I thought Caleb came in and gave us good quality minutes, and that's a good battle between him and Riley Neal.
Finishing with 15 points tonight from the bench. And knowing that you have that big guy, because, as a lot of Delta basketball fans know, you had a lot of big guys in the past. Knowing that Caleb Slavin can kind of step in with that role makes it a little easier for yourself with your first year here at Delta.
Yeah, it does, and we're missing Matt Norris right now. He's on a 5-game suspension. He's our 6'7" guy. He's our leading rebounder, so it's going to be great when we get him back, because him and Caleb inside, those are 2 big guys a lot of teams don't have. But again, we love to pound the post, and that's our first thing talking every week, is we want to dominate the post, because now that gets our guards open when they have to swarm down and get some quality shots. So the inside-out action makes it a lot easier for our guards and our posts, and makes it easier on us having two quality guys like that.
Definitely. Well, yeah, it's a good season. It's a good start, and learning experiences for everybody. You guys are getting the wheels turning, and in every game that you guys have fallen short, it's not by that much, and it's one of those things. You got to watch the game to see you guys aren't that far behind. It's a little bit of fundamentals, a little bit of things to work on, and I can't wait to see when you guys get full force how big of a threat you'll be in the Hoosier Heritage Conference.
And that's what we told our kids the other day. We've played Tuesday, Friday the last 3 weeks, and that's just not a schedule made for us being young, because you do walkthrough, you play a game, you have one practice, you do walkthrough, and you have another game, and they never really get any practice time to get better. So I think this Christmas break time, we have about a week and a half off. I think we'll start to see our kids getting a lot better. Hopefully in the second half of the season have a pretty good season. Yeah, and thank you so much. I appreciate you coming up here and talking to us here at Delaware County Voice. And it was great talking to you, and I hope that you have a good next few games, and a safe ride home. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah. Coach Ryan Van Skyok joining us here in the post-game show on DCV. As again, the final score, Yorktown defeating Delta 51-40. And we got a chance to talk to Riley Miller, and we talked about that rivalry between these two teams, and how he mentioned that for the football team for Yorktown, their season went a little longer than expected because they got that sectional championship win. That sectional championship win was over the Delta Eagles. So again, if anyone's keeping track at home, Yorktown's winning the rivalry matchups this school year. But again, we mentioned that there's a possibility that these two teams can play each other not once, but 2 more times this year with the county tournament and sectionals as well. And Delta might get that chance to get the revenge. But here in round 1 of the 2014-15 season, Yorktown with the win, 51-40.
Yeah, and really a solid effort here from the Yorktown Tigers. We saw a new-look Delta Eagles team, really a different look from what we've seen in years past. And, it's really just trying to learn this new system for the Delta Eagles. And you could see, even as this game progressed, you saw improvements offensively and defensively for these two teams. And both these teams, promising outlooks as we continue this 2014 season.
Yeah, everyone's looking pretty good. Rivalry matchups are always hard, especially because Delaware County Voice is split between the two schools.
Right.
So, like you said, I run Delta, you run Yorktown, so it's kind of a little bit there. But from Delta's standpoint, they're looking pretty good. And as the coach even said, like they're a young team, and having 2 games a week isn't exactly the right schedule to work on things, because you only have like 1 or 2 practices in between that.
Right.
And you have to fix your fundamentals and fix what needs to be fixed while also preparing for a new team within 3 days. And it's not within a 2-hour practice, 3-hour practice, it's not enough time to fix what needs to be fixed and then also prepare.
Right.
Because that's usually post the practice after the game is when they sit there and be like, okay, here's what all we did wrong, here's what we need to work on, let's work on that now. And then they go, all right, here's our next opponent, let's target our vision or our work ethic towards trying to find the right words for that, towards this new opponent. But like you said, they've had Tuesday, Friday games, and it's been affecting them in the sense that they need to improve.
And the number one thing that we got from Coach Van Skyok was turnovers is still a big issue with this Delta team. And something that you got to improve on. 18 turnovers here tonight. That take away at least half of those, and this might be a closer game than what it was, an 11-point win for Yorktown.
There was a lot of turnovers on Yorktown's side as well.
Well, that's true. Yeah, both teams kind of played sloppy here tonight, but Yorktown was able to correct those, and Delta not as much.
Definitely.
In that second half. And again, that goes to show you got this Yorktown team where your starting 5 have been the starting 5, or most of these guys have been your starters for the last few years. For Delta, you have one guy returning as a starter. Everyone else is new. And it's just that difference between Yorktown and Delta this season. But, again, first matchup between these two teams for the year. It's a possibility that we could see 1 or maybe even 2 more matchups between these two rivals before this boys basketball season is over. Quickly going through the individual scoring, leading all scorers tonight, Caleb Morey with 18 points. The rest of the Yorktown scoring looks like this. Riley Neal with 14. Riley Miller had 6. Jacob Preston had 6. Carson Moore 5. And Ben Conti with 2. For the Delta Eagles, off of the bench, Caleb Slavin, 15 points. Tanner Lambert had 14. And then Rylan Sullivan with 5. Mo Richardson 4. And Cam Slavin getting his only bucket with just a few seconds left.
Six
in
seconds
this game.
left, yeah. And like we heard Coach, he talked about how many people who all got that bug that's been going around, and apparently he said Cam Slavin has also gotten that bug, which, it doesn't matter if this week he might have been fresh, but if you hit that, there's a fall in your game that you have to build back up off of after you get sick. And Cameron Slavin came out and he didn't have one of his best games. He only had 2 points on the game, and that happened in the last 6 seconds. But his brother made up for it definitely with 15 points.
Absolutely.
And absolutely a great game by him with good rebounds. I think at one moment he rebounded from Yorktown's side, ran down, rebounded from Delta's side, and then got a pass and put in a shot. So he was doing a lot of work along with Tanner Lambert up on Delta's end.
And like what Coach Van Skyok said, after a 5-game suspension, so you're going to have
Matt Norris
coming up pretty soon, the 6'7" junior Matt Norris. That might make a huge difference going down the road for this Delta team. Yorktown 51, Delta 40. That's your final score here tonight. The Tigers advance to 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Delta drops to 1-4 and 0-2 in the HHC. For Yorktown, their next game is in just 4 days. That's next Tuesday. They will be taking on Class 1A Liberty Christian, but interesting note for these Yorktown fans that want to attend that game, it's being played at Anderson University on this coming Tuesday night. So Yorktown takes on Liberty Christian at Anderson University on Tuesday at 7:30. And then to wrap up the 2014 calendar year, they host Greenfield Central on next Friday, December 19th. For Delta, their next game is at Union City this coming Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And then a big matchup at the Fieldhouse against Muncie Central next Saturday night, December 20th. And then everyone is on winter break.
As we are now. And
That's right.
those games that you just heard, we will not be there. It is our winter break. This is going to be our last broadcast. We're going to end the year with a bang, of course, with the rivalry game. And we will be back next year.
And we definitely need sponsors to keep the coverage going. So, again, if you know of a business out there in Delaware County that would be interested in sponsoring Yorktown or Delta basketball this winter season, please, please, please get a hold of us on Facebook or Twitter. $30 a week. That's all it is, folks. So if you know of a business that wants to get their name out or just wants to support Yorktown or Delta athletics here on DCV, please contact us. Let us know in the next few weeks so we can get you ready for the 2015 calendar year. Wrapping things up here at YHS. Again, the final score, Yorktown 51, Delta 40. For Wes Lorenz and Connor Sink and everyone involved with the Voice Sports Network, I'm Robert Connett. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your winter break. We will see you in 2015. Happy holidays, folks. Good night.